What's going on, Virgo? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. So for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Virgo. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. And let me tell you why, Virgo, because it's your general energy weekly spread or something. I'm still working on that. I was just telling Gemini I might need to change up even the melody of that. It's nature of my problem. And speaking of nature of my problems, for those of you who are returning, definitely I'm in the middle of a move right now, so this is like a halfway place. This is like a halfway spot to my final destination, so it's just like stay tuned. We're on a little bit of an adventure right now. So but back to you, Virgo, because whenever you happen to come across this video, there may be some messages in here for you, okay? And then, just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation. So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Virgo. So I'm going to be pulling a few oracle cards from this deck here, and then I'll be getting some more details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And then in case if you all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested there, Virgo. Nice. So you got the second card of Taurus is here, which is the tandem bicycle. And with this card, this is a card of synchronized, alliance, duo, partnership, unison, equality, collaboration, togetherness, simpatico, aligned, hookup, cooperation, harmony, help, loin, consensus, and two of a kind. And Virgo, I want to say last week, you had, I think we were networking last week. So I think that there's been an emphasis here, really thinking about, forming some kind of alliance, whether this be, and this, this could be in like a business standpoint. This could be maybe even like a side hustle. This could be maybe even doing like maybe just some community events, or maybe even just like making more time to hang out with friends. But there is this, when we think about this, the tandem bicycle, it's just making sure that we have those people that are around us that we feel that we're in harmony with, and that we're all growing at, granted we'll all be growing at different rates, of course, but that we're feeling that the same level of commitment to growth is all the same, that we're there, when they're rising, you're rising, when they feel down, we're there, and vice versa. But because when you think about your energy, Virgo, you really are, one of your aspects is that you're a sign of service and helping others. And it's not to say that that's like your obligation or anything along those lines, but I just feel that you really do provide a value that it's amazing, and you being able to help someone to see their highest vibration really is it. And when we find people that are willing to work with that, I feel like, Virgo, that's when your energy really kind of shines. So I feel like there's just like an emphasis here, just being mindful of where our energies are being poured out to. But when this card comes up as well, if we're not thinking about alliances, or let's say our soul tribe and group as well, this could be, checking in as, more so internally. How are you? How's the harmony within? Because one of the aspects of Virgo is that the generalization is, that you can be assigned that it can be overly critical. And it's only because I feel like you have, it's not that I feel like Virgos are overly critical just to beat themselves up. It's that you demand a certain level of, you have how you show up and show out, and you expect that you have high standards of yourself. And I feel like I love that, but we just want to we don't want to get it to a place where we want to try to avoid getting it to a place where it hinders your work, or where we're too harsh on ourselves, and it gets gets your energy in detriment, start really waning on our self-esteem. But let's get Let's get some tarot on this and get some more details. All right, Virgo, let's see what we got here. Okay, so you have the Five of Wands and the Ace of Swords in reverse here, and then we have the Four of Pentacles and then the Ten of Wands upright. And so, you know, Virgo, I feel like that if we've been in any sort of, if we've been having any sort of like troubles with any sort of things, any sort of like challenges, whether maybe we're noticing like a writer's block, or maybe we're seeing where, you know, like we're just at like a roadblock and we can't seem to find the answer to alleviate this burden or anything along those lines. I feel like with this tandem bicycle, that maybe for some of us, this could be an energy of reaching out to some people, maybe asking for asking for some help, you know, maybe sharing your opinions, doing some brainstorming. Because I find that when we don't, because sometimes I feel like when we keep this stuff bottled in and thinking that we have to handle this all on ourselves, that kind of pressure can wane on us over time. And you know, we're Virgo, yes, we want to be in a place of being self-sustaining, but we can do that while still working on a team as well, you know? Something to just lighten the load of life a little bit, because if we do try to take on all of that by ourselves, it gets our head in a weird place. It honestly prevents us from really get the ideas cooking. It just does. It keeps us in a weird restricted place. So that's just for some of you. I feel like, you know, try not to be where you feel like you have to have the world on your shoulders. You know, absolutely, you know, reach out for some help, you know, see where others might be able to help you. Because, you know, Virgo, I feel like roles will reverse, you know, but you know, your soul tribe would definitely have your back, or, you know, or you would have their back. So just a little something to think about there, Virgo. But I'm also kind of getting with this, just more so like when I was talking about like internally, if we're noticing that within, you know, there's this, I'm really getting like just like an internal struggle here, you know, like maybe where our thoughts might be getting the best of us, you know, where we might be beating ourselves up. It's like, oh, how come I haven't gotten this far along, you know, or maybe any sort of like whatever, maybe criticisms that is. I feel that I feel like it's almost doing where, if we've been feeling that, again, to try not to keep that bottled up. And if we don't want to maybe necessarily talk about this with a person, then maybe we could do this through maybe journaling, or maybe we do this through music, or maybe we go for a walk and reflect on this thing. But I feel like that anything to get, if we've been stuck in something, anything to get that energy moving to help kind of alleviate this burden. Because this is the Ten of Wands. This is Mercury, or excuse me, not Mercury, Saturn and Sagittarius. And if it's restricting our growth, restricting our optimism, even, you know, and then we want to try to do anything that we can to get that energy flowing, and once we do, then the realizations start coming in, you know, the ideas like how we can start maybe getting past this stuff. It all just blends together very nicely, Virgo. So alrighty, I like that. Nice little start there. Let's see what else we got in the mix. Oh, all right. Efficient. Oh, I love it. And you got the 9th card of Aquarius here, which is the water carrier card. And with this card, this is a card of humanitarian, generosity, nobility, balance, calm life, communication, compassion, unselfish, alleviate suffering, benefactor, care for others, humane, helpful, and ethical. And you know what? I do feel like that for some of you, that because how I had funny, I just mentioned you being a sign of service. If some of us have been maybe overgiving, because yes, you know, we want to do that good work, you know, we want to raise that vibration and, you know, give all that we have. You got to give some stuff to yourself too, Virgo. If we've been pushing been kind of running on E as of late, or however that's looking, you know, it's a balance, you know, and where I get where we want to be that person that everyone can kind of lean on. It's just like, oh, I know that Virgo's got my back, and absolutely, Virgo, you decide to take a day off and not help anybody, you know, take time to help yourself. No one's gonna look at you any kind of different, because it's like, Virgo, you've been working so hard. As if anything, it's about time. But just something to think about with this, Virgo. And you know, when we take this time off, we want it to be guilt-free. Show yourself some compassion, because sometimes when we take these little trips off, we could be thinking about all the ways we could be being efficient. You know, it's like, gosh, yeah, like this, you know, hanging out on this beach is nice, but gosh, I could be ironing, I could be blah blah blah, I could do this and that, and where yes, you could be, but you could also be relaxing, you know, doing some self-care, you know, maybe reading a book, or maybe pass out on the beach. Get yourself a sangria. Whatever that does look like, Virgo. But, oh, what else? Now we're just having fun, Virgo. Oh, and then last little thing. If we're not in need of doing that self-care thing, then how I was saying, just about collaboration. You know, there's this is, I feel like when I did your reading last week, we were talking about networking. So now maybe maybe even thinking about doing like maybe some volunteer work, you know, or, you know, we're doing like a soup kitchen, or maybe we're doing, I don't know, maybe you're cleaning off graffiti on the side of train. I don't, you know, whatever services that we're doing. I feel like if this is something that's been kind of speaking to, because I don't feel like if this isn't something that you're not calling to it, I feel like don't force yourself. But if this is just something that you've been wanting to, just been kind of like, check it out, Virgo. See where that leads you. But let's get some tarot on this. There you, all right, Virgo. I'm with it, because you got some. Yeah. So you got the Ten of Pentacles, one of your cards, the Ten of Swords. Oh, and then we got the Devil. Okay, no, but that's cool though, because here's the thing with this energy. If we have been going through some kind of devil situation where maybe we've been dealing with like maybe we've been dealing with a toxic relationship, or maybe a toxic environment, a situation, whatever that is, or if we've been feeling like we've just been kind of at rock bottom, maybe we're, you know, Ten of Swords, Devils, that's never really a fun combination. But the thing I do like about with this being in reverse is that, yes, where that has happened, it's how do we heal from that now? It's like, I feel like it's when it's up in reverse, it's and you know, healing looks different on everyone, and I'm not saying you have to rush this, but it's just like this, I feel like it's encouraging to start thinking about, how do we get things back on track? You know, we may not get to happy right off the bat, but how do we at least get back to normal? You know what I mean? This is Mercury in Virgo, and that's your ruler. And it's like, how do we get that back in harmony again? You know, what does a calm life, you know, how do we alleviate any kind of suffering, whatever this experience was? And here's the thing, Virgo. When we're going through these situations, because, you know, devil situations, they pop up in sneaky kind of ways, and they're not meant there to just bring you down. Devil situations are to remind you of what you've overcome, and he just likes to do check-ins. You know, granted, it can be a little much sometimes, you know, how he may do it, but once you get eyes on it, it does become easier. It gets to this place where it's almost like a joke, like it's just like, man, devil, I see you. You ain't even trying no more. And that's when we know that I feel like when we're able to laugh at the thing and keep it moving, that's when I feel like the devil's like, brilliant. I knew you could do it. And but whatever this thing is, you know, if this is, well, however this healing may look, remember that it does require some work. You know, it can be tough sometimes, because the devil is Capricorn energy, and Capricorns, they're the achievers of the Zodiac, but when I'm talking with them, it's a slow burn. You know, they're ruled by Saturn, and Saturn, he asks a lot. But it's not meant to keep you down. Again, it's meant to help you rise up. And with the Ten of Swords, which is funny because, you know, Sun's in Gemini right now, it's seeing that these situations from dual perspectives. We can focus on the fact that yes, we've been betrayed, we've been this, it's been this really cut deep. Or we could take it as, yeah, sure, it cut deep, but now look at the sword that I came for the next battle. You know, for when the next experience comes around, I'm gonna be more experienced, more skilled, and more able to see the signs a lot quicker when shenanigans might be going down or anything along those lines. So, just something to think about there, Virgo. All right, I'm with it. Moving right along here. All right, let's get your last oracle card. I see you're ready to get out of here, Virgo. let me not hold you. All you got to do is say so. I'm kidding. But you got the 9th card of Geminis here, Virgo, which is the worry beads card. Very 10 of Swords type of energy here. Because, it's getting in that sort of realm. But this is a card of worry, fear, anxiety, irritated, calming, soothing, bored, passing time, upset, unease, needs care, fretful, ritual, repetitive motion, de-escalate, and nervous tick. And so if we, just like how we were talking about earlier, if there's something that he might be healing from, or if there's even something that, because the worry beads, I got just 10 thoughts here, Virgo. I feel like if we just got out of, or if we might be going through a devil situation right now, where we're maybe healing from something, one thing with this card is just making sure that we are getting the care that we need, doing some soothing things for ourselves. Maybe it's going by a little body of water or by a lake and just kind of sitting there and reflecting, or could be maybe just standing by a fire, or just maybe getting into meditation, listening to some music, or maybe even cooking. Maybe that's a place wherever you can get, in a zen, kind of zened out place, and just really sort of just be with that energy. I find that that's one way to really kind of help move that along, and really kind of help make it so that it doesn't feel like we're just that we're stuck in the energy, that we may be processing it, but at least it may be moving slow, but at least we can see that it's kind of moving. But I feel like for some others, if we're in this place of worry, whether this be about maybe our legacy, as far as what does our future look like, or maybe we're worried about our security, our finances, or even maybe health manifestation, however that's looking. It's how can we assuage those fears, and why is it that we're feeling that stuff, and then I find that, maybe finding those balance, of making some fun for yourself can kind of help assuage those fears. And when we get into fears and anxieties, I feel like it's really being present with those energies and asking yourself, what can we do in this moment right now? Is there anything that can stop this thing? And if so, then let's do that, absolutely. But if not, then where else can we channel that energy? You know what I mean, Virgo? And I hope that makes sense. But let's get some tarot on this. All right, Virgo. Interesting. Okay. Wowza. So you got the Knight, a lot of people here. You got the Knight of Pentacles, the King of Wands, the King of Cups in reverse here, and then we have the Three of Pentacles upright. And so I feel like for some of you, if you've been maybe worried as far as the people, like I was talking about earlier, if we've been worried about maybe the people who are around us that we've maybe been collaborating with, or any sort of this, any maybe relationships or anything along those lines, then I feel that there might be some discussion, like some communication things that might need to be had. Let's figure out where we're at with this thing. Why does this energy feel unbalanced? And then figure out, yeah, what's the game plan going to be? How can we, what's halting this progress here? But I'm also kind of getting for some others with this energy, just if we've been in a state of maybe just worry, fear, calm, whether this be, whether this be in work, maybe we're worried about the people we're at our environments, or maybe we're in like, again, maybe some kind of toxic situation, or I almost feel like this energy, just with the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles, Taurus's card, is considered the slowest knight of the deck. And this to me kind of gives us like this indicator of like maybe we're trying to like avoid something, or really just kind of power through, as opposed to really kind of being present with what's going down and trying to figure out. It's like we're focusing on the worry instead of focusing on the solution to the worry. It's like, you know what I mean? It could be where it's like being standing in the field and like saying or like being in a house and it's just like everything's on fire, and we're just focusing on the fact that it's on fire, as opposed to how can we put out this fire. That's kind of what I'm getting with this energy, Virgo. So if that's something where we've been just sort of like stuck in this place of worry, been kind of like a cycle here, then just how can we change that narrative? How can we get out of that loop so that we can start getting to this place of progress, so that these kings, this energy can start moving again? Because when you think about the King of Wands, he's the type, if something is preventing his expansion, whether this be worries, fears, whatever it is, he rules the first 2 decans of Sagittarius and the last of Scorpios. He's going to do a real deep dive and figure out, journey within and figure out what that's about, pull that up to the surface and give that some air, so that we can get this stuff from not just stewing. So just something to think about there, Virgo. But I think, let me get a little bit more on this Knight of Pentacles here. There's a little bit. There's a little bit more there, Virgo. Okay. Oh, look at you leveling up. So the Knight of Pentacles is clarified by the King of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, and then you have the Hanged Man in reverse here. And so, Virgo, because I feel like maybe for some others, there could be this energy of maybe we're worried about just thinking about the Ten of Pentacles. Maybe we're worried about this state of like options. It's just like maybe there's so many things that we either want to do or maybe you want to try to do, but it's just like which one makes sense to you. And I feel like I feel that with the Hanged Man, it's saying, just which one brings that like that moment, that's just like, oh my gosh, like that's the one where I'm gonna get all this abundant, where I'm gonna feel not only just abundant myself, but it's gonna be able to get me to this place where I'm gonna be able to even possibly give back as well, provide a service while still creating, getting that energy going. I feel like that. Oh, okay, Virgo, hold on, we're gonna switch back over here. But yeah, Virgo, because when you think of the King of Pentacles, well, not when we think of the King of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles is your card. He rules the first 2 decans of Virgo and the last of Leos. And that even saying that too, when you think of Leo energy, they are ruled by, they cover the heart. Leo energy is very passionate and very creative. And so if we do find ourselves thinking about our 10 of Pentacles here, and because, you got, now I'm just even kind of looking at this. 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Swords, 10 of Wands. We're racking up, we're getting close, I feel like, to a completion here. And I feel like maybe it's like we're in like this phase where it's like we're narrowing things down, but just follow your heart with this Virgo. I feel like for some of us, and things will alleviate. But I will say as well, just with the Seven of Cups, the Seven of Cups can be kind of tricky, and then how it got kind of tangled up here with Neptune energy, being with the Hanged Man. If we And you got the devil. If we're in any sort of toxic situation, maybe some sort of vice, or, this could even be like a, self-deprecation, whatever that's looking like. We want to get eyes on that and kind of slow down and we can see how that may be affecting our security, our abundance, and what can we do to get back stable, to get back in balance, and try not to, as well, just when we get in these places of worry and fear and stuff, to not try to drown out those things with like escapism and things along those lines, Virgo. We can try to avoid these situations, but it's just like, is it really worth it in the long run? So just a little something to think about, but I think I'm going to leave that there. So, all right, yeah, give that a thumbs up, Virgo, if anything resonated with you. And share this, if someone has been maybe feeling a little, just not in harmony, or just been kind of got some worries, fears that might been kind of going down and just need a little self-care, de-escalate the situation. And then, subscribe, hit that... Oh, so hold on, I was tripping. You have to subscribe, hit that bell. I thought you had all the kings here. I was going to lose it. So you're lucky. But surprise... You get what I'm saying. And then if we are in this place of worry and fear, I've been on this meditation app, Insight Timer, and I created a group on there called Zodiac's Raising the Vibration. And it's just a group to drop positive affirmations, encouraging messages, just and maybe talk about your stories, maybe, where we might have been a little worried, little fear, a little disharmony, but how we rose above, like the kingly Virgo that you are, King of Pentacles. So, something like that, Virgo. And definitely as the group grows, definitely want to start scheduling different meditations, whether that be, getting abundance with the King of Pentacles or healing with the devil, whatever that is, it'll be a good old time. But all that information is in the description box. And then lastly, if you have any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, I'm on over to my other channel, The Cherry Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans. It's a good old time. And all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here so I can get you out of here. Knight of Swords. I like that with the Knight of Swords. If we've Aquarius energy, first 2 decans of Aquarius, last of Capricorns. And really, if we've been struggling with any sort of worries, fears, anything, let's face those things head on, Virgo. Let's get a game plan, figure out what's causing those fears and where do we want to start focusing on doing the healing first. And I also feel with this Knight of Swords too, it's just saying, because if Knight of Swords can be a very fast knight, but he can be one, that might kind of skip out on the reflection. So just sort of make sure that we're taking this moment and really kind of processing this stuff here, Virgo. Nice. And then you got the Equinox card in reverse here. And so really this, good emphasis, if we've been out of balance and just haven't been feeling just not quite, we're at our most abundant. Take a little time for yourself, do some self-care and whatever that looks like. And I feel that's, with enough of that, and what am I trying to spit out here, Virgo? In enough time, things will get back into order. We'll get back to where our head and our heart's in alignment here. We're feeling more passionate, and we're going out there and making that, getting that coin there, getting them pentacles. So, all right, Virgo, I think I'm gonna leave that there. So, you stay safe out there with all this community stuff that you're doing and partnerships and whatnots, and yeah, be thinking about that, Virgo, because there's something here with that, just as far as like there's just a theme so far that has been working with, that's been kind of following you. So just something to think about. And I will catch you on the next one later.